Well, y'all, that took about 5 minutes. We've gone straight from the thoughts and prayers are worthless and I hate your guts for being a gun owner to pretty much confiscation. Yep, Governor Tim Walz. We're getting a special session. We're going to get some bans. We're going to get some preemption stuff, which no one's going to tell you because I caught that one. Yeah, guys, we're about to accelerate into the whole level of stupid, but it might be all for naught. Wait until I show you what we have waiting in the wings. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, because every time you do, you know that Minnesota Mayor, Governor Tim Walz, he stubs his toe every single night you do it. So make sure you take advantage of that unique opportunity. All right, let's get into this, people. Of course, he doesn't really, but it's still fun to think about. All right, this is on my X account, at Braden LOA. We've got to talk about a few videos that were just released today because it turns out you can't let a tragedy go to waste. So we've got to do a special session to not only ban things, but also confiscate things. Yeah, watch this. These people are opportunistic and they are ghouls. Oh my God, they're ghouls. All right, here we go. Let me just play this for you real quick. Then we'll start this off with the Tim Walz himself.
When they had a school shooting in Scotland or they had an incident in Australia, they simply made changes. They are just as free as we are. They still have gun ownership requirements, but they have made sure that they don't have these. And since they did those things, they don't have them. We are an outlier amongst nations in terms of what happens to our children, and I refuse to think that that's okay.
We're an outlier. Come here. We're going to go big on this one. We're an outlier because of the Bill of Rights that we have. You know, our freedom of speech, where we can't be arrested if we do something that would be against either a transistor radio or LGBTQ plus AI, whatever, or any type of immigrant situation in Europe. Yeah, no, we're just as free as they are. That's why they have police showing up and arresting you for making tweets and arresting you for displaying a sovereign flag. Just like that, right? We're just as free as they are. But after all, guys, we're the unique outlier. Yeah, we're the outlier because we have the Bill of Rights, which prevents people like this from attempting full-on confiscation. Scotland, Australia, yeah, they confiscated firearms. They not only banned them, they also went door to door and collected them. Yeah, this is a sitting governor of the United States. Don't worry, I got even more for you. But that's what he just said, confiscation. All right, let's keep on trucking. This one is when I told you the opportunistic mayor who was just going to sit there and whenever there was a camera on, he was going to run to it. Yep. Shocker among shocks. Here we go. Let's listen to hear what he says. He's got a 2-minute clip. He actually let something slip that no one else has yet. He's going into something called preemption. Now, high level, preemption is something that prevents cities and municipalities from enacting gun control that's stricter than the state laws. So, for example, in whatever state you're in, the capital could have one set of gun laws, the next second population city can have another set of gun laws, a municipality can, and then there's the state gun laws. So that's what he's about to reference, okay? That's a big one they all want. They all want to get rid of preemption. Watch this.
So we have had bans on assault weapons nationally before. That ban then expired. And so it's not as if this is some unique thing that has never been tried. Other countries have had mass shootings. And then rather than sit on their hands, they have made the move to ban assault weapons so that kind of thing doesn't happen again. The only difference is we haven't made that move in decades. And so we're in the position to do it now.
We're also the only country that has it written into our Bill of Rights in our Constitution that you can't do it, dickhead. We're the only country that sat on our hands. You mean that respected the Constitution? We're the only country that did it for 10 years and then it elapsed? The whole point here is we are an outlier amongst nations because we have a Bill of Rights that is ironclad. You can't do it. You can take everyone else's guns because it's not written into their constitutions. It's written into our Constitution. It's in our Bill of Rights. Why don't you just read between the lines? Again, I'm just to the point where I'm just going to start saying it exactly like it is. You openly are saying you want to violate the Constitution of the United States for your own political whims when you're standing on tragedy. You're absolutely a worthless piece of human. All right, let's keep on going.
Are there logistics that need to be worked out just like any piece of legislation? Of course there are. Of course there are. But we got to have the argument, we got to take the necessary steps, and we're in the position now to act.
Can you be more specific about, assault weapon is a fairly arbitrary term that would need to be defined. You're talking about banning certain models, certain assaultive features, speak to how you're defining assault weapons.
Right. Generally speaking, we're talking about guns and devices that are built to be assault weapons and or devices that are built to shift non-assault weapons to be able to reel off a whole bunch of bullets all at once. And we've seen both of those in our city. We have seen the ability to simply attach a device to a non-assault weapon and suddenly it is made into one that can reel off 30 rounds. We're trying to prevent both of those things from happening.
Just so you're watching at home, you heard it here first. Not only are they going to ban assault weapons, they're also going to ban things that make guns into assault weapons. By attaching a simple thingy on the thingy, it becomes an assault weapon. Could you be more specific? Well, I mean, no, but you know, you get my idea. Take shit. That's the entire point. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. But he sees a camera, he's going to go out there and raise his national profile, probably for a congressional run in the next 2 to 4 years, standing on the graves of dead children. Okay, I'm going to keep on going this level of intensity because this guy is literally an opportunist and he's taking advantage of a tragedy. Let's keep going where he rats out preemption.
So some models and also certain assaultive features.
That's correct.
Is there a state that a number of states have some sort of restriction or ban? Is there a state that you think Minnesota or maybe Walz Command has thought that this should model it after? Because they do, the definitions vary.
Yes.
And what is actually...
The definitions do vary. For purposes of what we're asking for today, there are, I believe, 8 states that have allowed for municipalities and cities to act. So, again, we are saying the best scenario here is obviously a national ban. The next best scenario is a statewide ban. But if you're either unwilling or unable to act at those levels of government, give us the ability to take the steps to keep our children safe.
All right, you just heard him ask for preemption because eight other states have it. This is the fight every time a blue state does this. If they have preemption, that means that Minneapolis wouldn't be able to do laws that are different than the state of Minnesota. That's the whole idea. There's one set of governing laws that applies to everybody. They want to break free of that and say, we're going to have gun laws in Minneapolis that says you can ban this, you can't have this, but in Milwaukee or wherever else in Wisconsin or Milwaukee or Minnesota or whatever, wherever it is, you have different gun laws. That's the whole point, right? So he's now asking for the ability to make his own gun laws in Minneapolis. That's what he's asking, just so you know. Okay, now let me get to the actual reality here, because the governor has said he's going to release a gun control package this week that includes assault weapon bans, but I want to show you what actually has to happen in order for this to be a reality, because right now they don't have the legislature. All right, so as of this second, it's just grandstanding. But they want that preemption, the mag bans, the assault weapons bans, and they want confiscation. Okay. So Governor Tim Walz on Tuesday, that's today, said he will call a special session for Minnesota lawmakers to vote on a package of gun control measures, although passage seems unlikely in a closely divided legislature. He didn't tell you that, did he? If Minnesota lets this moment slide and we determine that it's okay for little ones to not be safe in a school environment or church environment, then shame on us, Walz said. I'm going to call lawmakers back. The governor said he'll release a gun control package. He's going to call a special session even if he gets zero commitments from Republicans. And then this is the interesting part where the fight's going to be fascinating. Republicans led by Speaker Lisa DeMuth said, "We are strongly aligned with the gun rights movement, have 67 members in the House, while Democrats have 66 in their ranks. Walz and the DFL lawmakers are hoping the shooting of a church filled with school children would pressure Republicans to accede to new laws. Like I said, opportunistic seizing on tragedy, standing on graves with children. The special session would force Republicans to vote on gun control a little more than a year from a crucial midterm election when all 201 legislative seats will be on the ballot." There it is. That's what you have. That's the whole thing. It's all about political pressuring for their own power. This is not about saving children or safe anything. This is about the Democrats and them having power. That's the whole thing. That's why they want preemption. That's why they want all these pieces, because they don't have the power that they want, so they're going to try to pressure them into it by standing on the graves of children. It is. If you support these people, I don't know how you can, because they're just taking advantage of just nasty stuff. And some of the Republicans said they're going to fight back by repealing a ban on conversion therapy. It's just going to be state level legislative lawfare. But that's not the point. The point is, guys, they're asking for everything in the kitchen sink. They want preemption, mag bans, and assault weapon bans. We've seen these pushes before. This is exactly what they normally do every time that there's a shooting of any kind. Now, don't look at any of the facts of the surrounding individual that red flag laws failed for. Don't look at any of the facts of there were 3 different types of firearms involved, but you're only banning the one. Don't look at any of that. Literally, it's truly insane. I hope that landed the plane. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. See you on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.